Okay, that said, I shall give you the last portion of my report, and then I'll upload about 400 photographs and write my blog. Go to bed. Once we finished, well, that's not right. When I'm in the back speaking with that other committee member that was getting our experience, Jeff from Washington, big, tall, good-looking guy, deep voice, hell of a man, really good man. I've spoken with him a few times. He comes and sits down and he said, "Hey, I want to talk to you." I said, "Sure, anything, man." Whips out his laptop, opens it up. He says, "I want you to, take a look at this." I said, "Why?" He says, "Because I value your opinion." You don't know what that meant to me. I've made an impact on this Congress. I know it. A lot of people have told me that. But him coming and bringing to me the preamble of which his committee was charged to write, he brought it to me and said, "Will you look at it and tell me what you think?" I said, "Of course I will." So I looked at it. It's like, well, this word, that word, and this, maybe put this over here, and italicize this. I said, bold this. No, that's not right. Italicize it, because of blah, blah, blah. I said, if you're going to do that one, do this one here, and I don't know about this, and, we bounce stuff back and forth. And I give him about maybe 9 different suggestions. 3 of them he changed on the spot because he liked it. It made sense to him. The other 6 he wrote down to take back to his committee and discuss it. These people of this Congress have gotten to know me. They've gotten to know my no nonsense, no restrictions, no boundaries, no box mentality. Bottom line, honesty. Okay? And don't sacrifice it for anything. Anything. I've had many people come up and say, "Man, I'm glad you're here. You've impacted this Congress in a good way." And that's because I've refused to sacrifice my principles for power. And I've explained it many times to many people. And that's important. Very important. Just like at lunch today, I was speaking with one of the delegates, and we're talking, we get to a point where I said, quite loudly, I said, "The ring of power cannot be used for good and must be destroyed." Heard he likes to hear that one too. Sergeant Arms, he says, I'm talking about Guy Cunningham, good friend of mine. I mean, super friend of mine. I told him I'd serve under you any day. And I think it was like the 5th or 6th day, I forget what it was, and we were talking about something or whatever, and he says, "Okay, Lieutenant," and it's like, oh, a lieutenant now, huh? Officer grade. Well, that's cool, because I'd serve under him. You bet I would. So, to my wife, I'll see you on Monday. I miss you so much. I miss my grandson Jojo. Haven't seen him since I left. Cute little kid. It hurts me that he's so young. I mean, he's just 1. A little over 1. He's walking, right? It hurts me that I've been here for 11 days. When you're that young, you lose sight of things. He used to see me every day. He'd come in my bedroom and would sit every morning on the bed, and he'd watch this and that and play with the cell phone and have a good time. I haven't seen him since the 11th. I'm afraid that he's going to wonder, who am I? Do you you realize how much his sacrifice has gone on to put this Congress on? We tried to get money to fund it. Not enough people knew. Not enough people gave. We ran it on a shoestring. We were having a hard time making copies. I mean, come on. What the hell's wrong with you people out there? We need help. We need support. After dinner, or, well, not after dinner when we had the meeting. After the meeting was over, excuse me. After the meeting was over, I started walking out of the area, and I saw Fred Smart. Fred Smart's a pretty sharp cookie. I met him a couple of days ago. I was aware of him before. Actually, Fred and I were supposed to be co-lieutenants at the Revolution March. And I guess because the organizers of the march, they had so many fine people and so many good speakers that Bob Schultz got bumped way down on the roster, and Fred took offense at it, and he pulled out. He didn't show up, and he didn't participate as a protest because he felt so strongly about Bob's cause. Well, I met him, and he's a really great guy. He had every Thursday he has a conference call, the National Collective Consciousness call with the American Underground Network, and he said, Ed, I gotta go home. I can't stay for the rest. I have to go home. I'm leaving just as soon as Orly's done. The conference call's going on now, and Orly's speaking to him. I said, yeah, and he says, would you speak at the conference call when she's done? I said, sure, man, anything. I'll do anything, further the cause. So he goes over to he says, I'll tell Orly. He goes over to get the phone from Orly, and she walks away from him with it and keeps talking because she likes to talk. I mean, she's a pretty talkative lady. She's a smart cookie, and she's been through some hell. I mean, she came through from a communist country, so she says she recognizes it right away. Yeah, I can bet she recognizes it right away. Anyway, when she was over there on it, he'd come back and he says, well, you got a cell phone, don't you? Sure, here. Calls it in. I start talking. I'm on hold, and I'm waiting. I go over into one of the bar padded areas so it wouldn't reverberate too much off the floor, and I waited and finally get on the conference call, and I started talking with, started speaking, and some lady was on the phone. She's talking, and they said, hold on a second, and they got her to stop. And then they asked me, what's up, Ed? And I started filling them in. I started filling them in some more. And then I started filling in some more, and then it got further and further, and you know how me, I started getting animated, and before you know it, I let him have it. I said, you know what, you need to get off your ass, get off the couch, turn your TV off. Better yet, why don't you sell that TV and go buy some ink and a bunch of reams of paper and start printing out your best message like I do quite often. Get some friends and go to the Kmart and the Costco and put them on all the cars and start handing them to everybody you know. I mean, I kept on going. Before you know it, I'm banging on stuff and screaming and everything. And I said, and when I was done, I said, and that's all I have to say on that, Dee Dee. And everybody just cracked right up. Well, anyway, my roommate has gone to bed, and I'm now keeping him awake with this banter. So I shall make this my last one for the day. And I can't wait to see you all tomorrow, because I'm sure I'll have much, much more for you. But for now, working for you.